Hello everyone, welcome back to the KMTRADERS channel. So this is the crypto weekly analysis. Again, we're going to be giving you an insight for what we have in store for the upcoming week. So pretty much, if you haven't been watching the crypto stuff, there has been a lot of things. This has been a crazy week so far. What I've personally seen is that our analysis has come to fruition, sort of thing. So it's pretty much rolling into what we're saying, and it's pretty good that we're analyzing into the crypto world as well as tying in the concepts with Forex. So it's a good thing to see. I'm quite happy with how I'm looking into the market so far. So yeah, what we looked at with Bitcoin is this potential move towards the downside, and the idea that we looked at last week was price to break this low here and potentially come into the 28k mark. So now that we've pretty much got into here, let's just kind of discuss what we can expect over the next few weeks or so, or the days or so. So I have been discussing this process of where price has the ability to push up higher. Now I do think that what will happen is it's going to be a very tricky thing to understand, because what's going to happen is I feel like there's going to be some news, or with China. I'm not really too sure with the fundamentals, but again, I'm looking at this from a technical standpoint, is that we could be expecting price to make some sort of fake out. Now what I want to show you is pretty much this trend line here. So if we just formulate two different ones, so we have this one here, and now technically we can even formulate this one here. So we have two trend lines here that we can be looking out for. Now essentially what we need to do is just be careful of where we can expect some fake outs. So in the Forex world, we expect fake outs, and we can see fake outs from a long time. We see that on a day-to-day basis. So it'd be interesting to see if we can see that in the crypto world too. So I'm going to apply that kind of logic right now. So we do have this intermediate downtrend right now, which we could be expected that most people could be looking into this. So tying in that concept is that we could have a theory where price starts to break this downtrend and creates a fake out, where it does then, what it will do then is to create one more low. So ultimately we will be seeing some sort of manipulation on this downtrend. Okay, so what I think could happen is that we still have more room to go towards the downside, but it will be a different scenario of calling when this will go towards the downside, if that makes sense. So what we could expect is price to pretty much just carry on moving sideways, but it'll almost be in this area here. So what we could be looking out for is price to come within this range here and fill this area. So if I was to draw a higher time frame fib, where this is going to be, if I was to kind of say, is that this kind of ties in with the 50% fib. So I believe that this could be a potential area where price could manipulate into. So as we were saying here, that price can manipulate this downtrend and then push lower. I'm not saying that it will go here and then drop lower. What could be a more realistic approach is that we can expect price to fill this area in this range here and then drop off again towards the downside. And then this would be the critical point where we could be looking at, I mean, I don't take any sells, but because I look at crypto in the long term vision. But again, I know people on this channel trade the scalps of it, so I might as well give you that kind of discussion, that if price does start to go into this area, into this box, potentially into the 40k region, the 42.5, we could see price completely melt off in that prospect and potentially push lower. So ultimately I want to see price get into this range and then drop off. So in terms of what we could see though on a lower time frame perspective in this range right now is, what could be expected is price making it can do one or two things. It can do this and then get into this range, or it can sorry, so it can break this low and make more of a low, and then start to break this downtrend and then get into this area, or it can do the other thing, which could do this way. It just pushes up from where price action is right now. So it can do one or two things really. So the ultimate goal though is for price to get into this range area here, fill this area, and then what we can do then is react and then respond towards this range here. So if we start to see more rejections towards the upside, then great, because that's where I believe that we can start to see price push lower once more. So yeah, so ultimately what we can see right now is that this is the new low of the market, so basically the 28k range. We could expect price to push this low once more and then get into this area, or the other thing is we can get price to break this downtrend and get into this area here. So ultimately what we are trying to say for this week is we just want to see price get into this red box. So with that being said, we can apply this logic now with pretty much the other coins and see what they have in store for us. So the concept with the Bitcoin kind of applies with everything else. So let's take a look into this now a bit further. So looking into Ripple, so let me just have a look into this, what we can see right now. So what we said last week was that we kind of was looking at for price to do, for price to push up and then break low. But ultimately I wanted to price to break low, to break this low here. So we can see that that's come alive, and we've got that here. So now that we've broken this low, we are coming to very close terms with potential the bull run, which is going to be the biggest move, hoping to break this $2 high. And again, this one's going to be a very big mover in my opinion. So like I said, we can draw the outer, we can start to draw some of these trends now. So we have the higher downtrend here, which is a longer term, and then we can also envision the the shorter intermediate term. So as we can see right now, if I was to place a trend here, we can already see there's already been we're already potentially in line with a fake out right now. So tying what I said with Bitcoin, what I'm expecting is for price to pretty much do something like this and then drop off once more, and then potentially push up and start this rally towards the upside. So it's going to be a very tight thing here, but what I want to see happen is pretty much price to make a low once more, and then for price to start creating this bull run. And if we start to see more of a bull rally or bullish momentum, like a strong bull candle, like so here, bullish candle, we can start to be convinced that we're pretty much starting to break new highs. And I believe if we start to get above the $1 range, we're definitely pushing up higher, because that's a very key fundamental level for most people. But yeah, I'm very excited for the bull run, because this is pretty much going to come soon. And in my opinion, we could be looking at for price to push way above the $2 range, and even towards getting above the 3.5 cent range as well. So sorry, $3.50 range. So we've got a long way to go. But yeah, this one's going to be a very big one. But yeah, ultimately just taking it day by day. We just want to wait for now price to make one more low, and then we're going to be in this tight range, and we're going to be eyeing up our next position over the next few days. So what we can see here is a potential turnaround very soon. So that's all I'm saying for Ripple. So moving on now to Cardano. What we see here is price making that low that we talked about. So price has now broken this low. We can now be keying and keeping our eye on price making its way towards the upside now. So what I'm looking out for now is basically any form of sign of a potential push towards the upside. So we just have to wait for price to do its thing. We need to wait for the bull run, the bullish candles to come alive. So tying in the analysis with Bitcoin, what we can imagine is that price needs to on Bitcoin needs to create one more low. So tying into that concept, we could expect price to come into this zone that we've got drawn out here and potentially come into this once more and push lower. So yes, as we've got this drawn out already, we could expect price to break this low, and then we could be waiting for that bullish candle. If we start to see that bullish candle, then we can start to wait for that key fundamental push towards the upside, and that could be the key driver for price to pretty much make its way. So if we start to again draw the downtrend for the long term and intermediate, so just tying it in, kind of comes into here. So as we can see already, again we can see that thing with the fake out, so we can already see that there's potential people already buying right now. So if this does break this low, then this will this will become the new kind of targeted intermediate trend. So again, if this trend does break, that could be your entry if you did want to. Again, it really depends what you want to do with your entries again. But personally, I like to look at price action. That's totally up to you. But again, the trend, the breaking of the trends, these trend lines do work. Again, you just have to be careful. Like I said, is knowing when those fake outs are going to occur. So yeah, we could expect something like this. And then seeing price turn over. But again, this could be pretty much, if we start to see a huge bullish candle, this could be the one where price starts to completely push up higher. But definitely I do want to see price push once more lower and then push up higher. So I won't be surprised if that happens, tying it in with Bitcoin. So yeah, let's take a look into Litecoin. So Litecoin right now, we can see that we've broken that low that we've talked about. So if we take a look into where we can see now, what is the potential here is to pretty much just waiting for now that bull run, is to wait for that bullish candle to arise, and we could be waiting for a very good time for the crypto world. I do think this will be a very good period for now. So yeah, ultimately I feel like if we get a break above the 8,000 to the 7,000 mark, it'll be a good period to get in on the market. So as we can see here, we've got this trend here, so we can now extend this. So potentially you could go even here. We've already got a fake out, but if we can potentially get one more break towards the downside, like I said, tying it in with the with Bitcoin, then that could be a possibility, and then we can extend this like so, and then that could be your entry, like I said, if we get that break with the bull candle, with the bullish candle. So yeah, pretty much just waiting on price to do potential one more push lower, and then that huge rally towards the upside. Very excited with the crypto world, if you couldn't imagine or so. But yeah, we'll see what happens now over the next few days. So we have Ethereum. Ethereum. So what we're seeing here is, like I said, price making its way and breaking that low. Ideally, it's going to be a similar situation right now, where we're waiting for price to potentially break this low once more and then have that turnaround. So yeah, as we anticipated, pretty much we wanted price to break this low ultimately, and that was the key thing that we've been talking at for a long time. So what, I think like the whole of May or June, I think. But yeah, it's not been a long time, but it's been I know that a lot of people have been panicking in the crypto world, and it kind of it's understandable. There's a lot of retail, a lot of new traders in the market. Obviously, I do my best to kind of help you guys, but pretty much my opinions. So obviously, this isn't financial advice. Take upon your opinions at your own risk, and do everything you can to minimize your own risk. So that's all I say. So yeah, so pretty much following on with the Bitcoin analysis, we want to see price break a low here. So as Bitcoin is potentially going to do that, we could expect price in Ethereum to do the same thing. So if we get a price to break lower, then we're just pretty much waiting on this bull run, bullish candle, and we have this downtrend here as well to look into. So definitely keep an eye out for that one too. Dogecoin, yeah, so what we have here, pretty much a similar story. What we are looking out for is potential move towards the downside. We are getting very close for a potential bull run. So yeah, if we start to now you know, create some sort of downtrend. Let's get rid of this. Weirdly enough, that actually came to exactly you know, where we drew those arrows last week. It came to exactly that point. But yeah, that doesn't mean it will happen all the time, by the way. That was just by pure luck. But yeah, anyway, so we can see prices turning over right now. If I was to formulate a downtrend, possibly would be around here. So what we could potentially see, if it is a possibility that we can get a price to push lower, possibly into the the 10 cents range, even lower. So I'm personally just basing this on the fact that if we can get the Bitcoin analysis in alignment with the Dogecoin, we could expect price to push lower. And then have some sort of turnaround. So I am looking out for this range at the 10 cents to the 5 cent range, and potentially a key driver of that will be in confluence with Bitcoin. So if we start to see some bullish momentum with Bitcoin, we could see that potential run up higher. So yeah, ideally, you know, this is pretty much a similar situation where we expect price to push lower, and then potentially make that bull run up push, you know, extending higher. So again, you know, the up and coming weeks, the last videos on the crypto analysis have been quite slow, in the sense repetitive. But yeah, we're starting to see a bit more of a push, and we're starting to see a bit more of our targets being met now. So we're kind of getting closer towards, you know, potentially pulling on to those buying triggers. As I said before, is that I'm a long-term have a long-term vision for crypto. So I'm a long-term investor in it. I'm not essentially a scalper like some people are. I use the scalping on Forex, and I use the long-term investment with crypto. So definitely, again, you can obviously scalp it. I just give you the best opinion in my sense. So again, if you are scalping with this, I don't think that my channel is the best for you, in my opinion, because I don't really give you the exact levels of where we could expect the turns to really make your money. But again, if you are looking for that long-term vision, again, this pretty much, I feel like this would be your best suit, because that's going to match up with my vision too. So yeah, we'll see where we go throughout this week and potentially next week. I'm not really sure if the NFP is going to have an impact on the crypto world, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, we'll see what happens next week, and yeah, we're getting very closer towards pulling into that buying trigger. Okay, guys, so be mindful on that, and of course, keep out for our video. So again, if you made it all the way to the end of our video, I do appreciate your time for watching. If you are interested in joining our trading group, you can join. That link is in the description. But that is more for Forex. But I'm happy to discuss crypto as well. If you want to leave those comments in the comment section below, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So that'll be all from us. Thank you very much for your time for listening, guys, and I'll see you all in our next week's video.